today, and we'll start working on the radiator and fan. So the radiator just clips in. Let's see if I can lift it up. There's a little bit of movement right there, about this side. Okay, see right there how that's moving? So there are 4 clips into the back of the radiator. The fan hooks up to the back of the radiator. There are those 2 lines that are going to be connected to the coolant lines on the passenger side of the car. I'm also going to remove this tube to make the install just a little bit easier for myself. And I'm going to reinstall the coolant drain plug right there. So coolant drain plug looks like that. So let's put that back in there, take that off, and then attempt to put this back in. As far as the coolant drain goes, I think that's pretty much it. What you have to make sure is that basically this line is kind of vertical. There's a little tab that slides through and then goes all the way to the bottom and hits the plastic. I don't know if you can see that right there. So that's as far as that'll turn, and I think that's about as good as it gets for the drain plug. So now I'm just going to remove this coolant hose and start working on the installation. Alright. At this point, I just kind of want to put it in there. Make sure I'm not grabbing on any wires. I have to rewatch some of my videos, see how far this has to go, because I honestly can't remember. Okay, although it may not look like it when you're putting it in there, the radiator is attached to the condenser. So starting off from this side, you'll see that this condenser clips in. Let's see, get some better lighting. You'll see that this condenser clips into the radiator right there and at the bottom, as well as on this side. Now the radiator itself will fall. There's a rubber piece that goes into a hole right here. In order to get this to work, I did remove the fan just because I found it a little bit easier. I was really struggling to move anything around. I got those wires down there around this. You probably can't even see it, but there's a coolant outlet, the one we just took off that pipe, or the coolant hose. I'm going to go ahead and reattach it at this point before I reinstall the fan. Just so you see what I've done so far, this coolant pipe has been attached to the radiator down here. So now I just gotta tighten it down and then proceed with trying to shove the fan back in here. Okay, before I begin, the whole assembly now, the radiator and the AC condenser are movable. So from the passenger side, I pulled it towards the front, so you can see it's sitting at an angle right now. A lot more wires on the driver's side, so I'm going to try to get those clips in first when I put the fan back in, and then I'm going to try to put the driver's side clips in next. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see how much space I have. It's again quite tight. Alright, setting this line right here. Alright. This way. Okay. Now time for the tricky part. Trying to actually get this thing to clip on to the radiator. Which I may have to go underneath the car and try to do it from there. Driver's side I got it in, and got the passenger side in too. There we go. Just double check. Make sure this one's in. It's actually in or not. I think it is, but to get a flashlight, get a little bit of a better view. So after a couple more minutes of finessing the radiator, finally clipped in. So you can see from the top. That's what it's supposed to look like. No, did this side clip in? Let me double check one more thing. Yeah, it did. It's just a little loose like that. Okay. And there is supposed to be a bit of a gap between the condenser and the radiator. Let's go underneath the car next. There's a bunch of stuff. Debris underneath there as well, so I'm gonna put my goggles on. I'm gonna be moving around all these wires underneath. Okay, so first, let's take a look at this big wire. Has a clip that clips in right there. Next, there's a plug. It's going to be going into the fan right there. Alright, moving on, this is the bigger plug that we're going to leave alone for right now. It comes around right here. And there's another clip down here. Let's see how easy this thing is to... Should be one of those stupid easy clips. Just put it to the side if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna put this through. Attach like that. And then okay. Plug this connector in. Let's see. There. Okay. And that one should be plugged in right there, which I think we did earlier. So there we go with that clip. That's got it. So the whole wiring harness besides this point has been plugged in. Where? Okay, so up here there's another clip, which will push this thing underneath the sway bar. Let's plug that one in. here. And then we'll push this whole big connector underneath here as well. And we'll move to the top to continue. From the top, we're going to grab this wire and push through this big one. And we're going to plug this one in into the ABS portion right there. Once it clips in, that clip slides right over that. Okay. I think that is it. Let's start connecting a few more of these coolant lines. So the coolant line that's connected to the bottom of the thermostat right there, or to the bottom of the radiator, we're gonna have to, goodness gracious, it's gonna be fun forcing this thing onto here. Definitely a two-hand job. Okay, thermostat coolant line has been reattached and tightened down, even though I really don't see the point in tightening it down, how difficult it was to put on there. Let's grab the big coolant line. It goes from the top side of the driver's side into the radiator right there, or the water pump. So that coolant line has been attached, and I'm not gonna attach that one right there, or the other one, the other two that go right here. The reason being is I'm gonna start working on the alternator next, and it's already kind of starting to get a little bit tight of a space down there, so I want to be able to run the belt without having all these lines interfere in the process. I think it's just going to be easier. So let me start working on the alternator next.